Hello guys, Umar here, back from our video, and we're at Monterey. Today we're on our way to the Monterey Bay Aquarium, and it's actually been like 8 years since the last time I actually went here. So, hope you may enjoy. Can't really see that far, but there's actually the Goodyear blimp. Pretty cool, some sea lions. They're actually resting like the same way they're at Point Rey, but they're at a beach. Good thing to have safety measures for the fence right here. There it is, the Monterey Bay Aquarium. It's been like 8 years since I actually last time visited the aquarium. This building has changed a bit since in the past it used to be a sardine cannery. But we're finally back. Nothing has changed a bit in the inside. To actually can the sardines starts off when the fishing boats, there almost like around 100 or like 200 of these fishing boats here. And they move all the way into the cannery, which the women here actually have to sort the sardines after being cut up. And this is what a sardine would definitely look like, even though these are actually displays. Look at that, it's a lot of sardines. They later move all the way to the steam carts, which actually steam the sardines before they're actually being sent out to the customers. And by the time, they actually had to pack all these sardines up, and they sell them to almost like everywhere around Monterey. These steamers are actually helped steam the sardines up just before they're actually being sent to service. And this is actually the sound of whistle here. And that's the signal of when it's time to cook it up. See, right here is one of the few biggest tanks in the aquarium here. There mostly have hundreds of fish, including a school of fish up there. This is one of the first times when I actually seen the fish here since 8 years. There's even one hiding in the kelp. It looks like we're seeing one example of a few coral reefs, including a few rock reefs. That's a lot of rock reefs here.
Why is that trying
to strawberry and
enemies? I bet so.
I think this is a leaf, but like it looks big.
This is mostly very cool. Look at that. This is a whole tank of fishies here. They're mostly full of these anemones, but whoa, look at that. That looks like a leopard. There's one coming over us.
Gonna eat it. Watch it.
We're not Jaws.
Really flat fish.
Yeah.
It looks so big, but it's actually just swimming flat. You see?
Oh yeah.
It's just flat.
Pretty cool.
It's a flat fish. I'm kidding, I don't know what the name is. Oh shoot. Don't record my voice, please.
Look at that. That shark looks pretty cool.
It's like a swan. What's the other shark? I'm kidding.
Oh, this one here almost looks like one of those
Is it not one of those?
body sharks. And look at that. There's that leopard, I
Why
think.
does every tank have a leopard shark?
Cool. Looks like we're seeing somewhat of a Anomalida to Corolla. And there's actually around, I think around under 30, I think. Looks like we're seeing some of these sea pens here, which they're nicknamed mermaid pens.
So inside of
Some of
that
them.
is a baby
Whoa. Looks pretty cool.
Okay, come on.
So we're seeing here is Pacific Pumbus. They're actually very cool fish, actually. Whoa, look at that. Oh, look at that, there's one of those flat fishies. They actually huddle on the sand for their camouflage. It's mostly an empty reef, but this looks pretty cool. This is a type of a Amamada Tabula that's actually the same thing. They actually have this machine here where you actually just play around it, and actually simulates what will happen when it just preys on its predator. We're at the other side of the aquarium. Looks like there's one of these big catfish. There's an angel shark in there. There's supposed to be a lot of these fishies everywhere. But this tank is actually just run around like a half circle. But this is definitely one of the big tanks here in the Monterey Bay Aquarium.
cautious practices around
Should click one of these, and then you just have to just watch how the screen does with these cooks here, which is pretty cool, which I really like in the past. Here is an outside tank area, but since we're not allowed to touch the tank, we're only allowed to look. Looks like we're seeing some flatfishies here. Looks pretty cool. They showed like lots of fish here down at the bottom of the sea grounds. That's a lot. Very cool. Where are some of these seabirds here? Even though you're actually allowed to go kind of close, even though they just, yeah. But we can still see some fishies. Sorry, in the sunlight. They look pretty cool for the bottom below. Even though there's one closer to us. Looks pretty cool. Here we're seeing, is it like how you feel when a wave crashes on your head? Apparently water actually comes out from the area there. Should be one coming out by now. Within a few seconds. There we go. We're almost soaking in the wet.
It can't get to you, I promise.
But there are more underneath when we see them. Like there's some fishies in the bottom which when they feel the waves coming crashing down on their heads. Some salmon and they recently finished their meal. It's like they're even something just splash around just trying to fight for the food.
Alright.
We're seeing right here is actually the duck here, which actually see the ocean from the view.
Floating down like
And there's not actually a lot of fish except for one seagull down there. But the outside ocean looks pretty cool, even though there's some kelp up ahead there. Looks like we're seeing some heavy waves crash along the dock.
Oh, maybe we can find a whale because usually you can see whales in here.
Well, but whales only come during migration times, so it only happens sometimes during the spring. There's one. They always like to explore around the areas, and they're likely just going to come around. Looks like there's one heading straight for us. Approaching our underwater depths. Well, there it goes. That's very close. They're just pulling on a show. Pretty cool, actually.
Oh, look at that one.
Here is likely columns of sardines around the air around us. Looks pretty cool. I don't know about this exhibit, but this thing looks really nice. It's pretty cool seeing these sardines. They even eat their plankton there. So we're seeing a lot of fishies here. Looks like they're going around one big circle. They don't go around so much. Looks pretty cool to me. Likely one huge half dome of what a jellyfish life would look like. But it's usually like infinite. So at least more and more jellyfish will just come and increase. Some of them can even sting a bit, but most of these are mostly pretty cool. I see a column of these, some of these I think smaller fish. Including a sea turtle on top. Oh, we're really have a time to go closer, then that's pretty cool. It's tuna fishes. They're mostly pretty huge actually. Since some of them, sometimes when someone actually fishes giant tuna, that will worth allowing thousands of bucks. But luckily the Monterey Bay Aquarium thankfully preserved some of these intact. Yeah, definitely keeps them very good. Including this unknown hammer. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, these things up there are sardines. And look at that, there's a hammerhead shark. Woo! Pretty cool. Definitely to see. There's a huge column of sardines around here. Looks like sardines and the plankton are fishing again. Some of these could also go kind of huge, actually. I think some of these sardines are well preserved. For years to come. Pretty cool, since their ancestors are being cannered. Not far, but there's actually wild sea otters there. Looks like they're looking for their own clams to eat. Quite a way very good this time. But looks pretty cool. Very nice indeed. Plastic could sometimes actually destroy some of the environment. Like plastic is almost like everywhere sometimes in the ocean. So some Monterey Bay aquarium artists actually made these art using the plastic they actually found. This one's a hard art of a humpback whale using the reusable plastic they actually have. This is mostly plastic almost like everywhere actually. And there's actually how would the plastic would just feel covered up. And here's another plastic art of a seagull. We've seen this one huge plastic art of the tsunami here from Japan. It must look really huge. For me, I sometimes use plastic for art, mainly for my warships. But this is definitely the way to save the environment. Approaching into the deep area. It's mostly very deep from the underside of the seas. Like you wanted to go deep down to the Titanic. First, mostly fishies almost like everywhere once you see the depths of the sea. And this is another section of what you see in the underwater areas. You know, there's tons of sardines and a hammerhead shark. Very cool. Here's some footage of actually the dark underneath the sea in the old ROVs. Including this theater view of the ROV's camera. Looks pretty cool seeing the fishies along the area. Very cool with jellyfish. Tiger light. Oh, some very good rainbows. I find they look very nice. You have to find the midwater, and you actually find all your food fast forward. They actually ate you up. Yes. And make sure you don't get eaten by the fishies. Uh-oh. Looks like it's almost time for me to go diving. Whoop. What am I saying up? And I survived. Here's a small exhibit of when would the contraptions of what the scientists would even use when diving to the deep underwater depths. It doesn't remind me that 8 years ago there was actually an ROV exhibit here temporarily until being rotated away from the museum. By that time, I still remember the thing for the pass. Looks pretty cool. Well, this is definitely another underwater reef, what it looks like in the deep sea. But if you can go near a volcano like the one somewhere deeper in the Hawaiian Islands, you will definitely see some plumes of cloud smoke of an underwater volcanic ridge. Mostly a lot of animals that you live along the area here, and definitely including some volcanic steam, which was peculiar for me. This here's a whale fall, which means what remains of a whale dives into the deep sea, sometimes being crushed up thanks to its gases. There's actually somewhat amazing fish here. You just look around, just try to swim around the pieces of the dead whale. But definitely very cool seeing some of this whale just lies there in the dead. Look at that! This fish here looks like very curious. But sometimes though, like the sea rather than the land. Here's another section of the whale fall, except that looks like there's an eel there, living there. Actually, when bones really fall underwater, small phytoplankton, including other animals, actually come and eat the bones up of what remains of the whale. That's disgusting, but somewhat cool. That's probably everything around the aquarium. We're just gonna hang out here for maybe a little bit and maybe go past time for some lunch. But this is the open sea, Oliver. Looks very nice. Oh yeah, I didn't know this place. I mean, this here's where the kelp were area where they actually have their cleaning service here. We actually see the kelp on top, and we actually know why there's some towel on the bottom. But luckily, the kelp is safely preserved, along with the seagulls. I bet they're just standing, waiting for the next fish to eat. These jars here actually have some of the marine animals here, likely to preserve. And this is how they actually preserve some of the marine animals here, if some of them are small. Well, this one looks pretty cool. Okay, we already left the Monterey Bay Aquarium. Now we're currently on our way to our restaurant to eat for lunch. Boy, it's gonna be rainy soon. That's very good, actually. Good like the burger. Back at the Monterey Bay Aquarium after we have our lunch. Now we're currently going to just wander around, just have some fun for a little while at least. I wonder what type of activities they got here. We'll just have to see. Looks like someone's going to be lunch soon. Uh-oh. There it goes.
Mine, all mine, all mine.
Like what soldier would say, this is mine, all mine. Uh-oh. Looks like it'll be lunch soon.
Get the bigger white dots.
Uh-oh.
Get them.
Oh, that's about.
Oh, that was a straw.
Oh, that's about.
Get more white dots.
Stealing all yours.
Fish scale.
Uh-oh.
I'm stealing some of these guys.
Okay.
I'm
Go
stealing.
back up. Go back up. You got to get the bigger white dots. Without getting hit by the fish.
Woo! Survived! Yay! Seen here is a group of anchovies. Looks like they're opening their mouths for the meal.
Why did they open their mouths?
Oh, they look pretty cool. I always do that a lot, so many times. I bet it's pretty cool. Here to see some fishies area, also some random assortments they actually have. It's actually a way to actually make an artificial coral reef. You actually find any sort of scrap metal like ships or old ships and sink them upon the sea. Currently, they're currently about to sink one of the biggest ships in the world, which was formerly the ocean liner, the SS United States. Hopefully they'll be able to save the ship, or otherwise if it's too late, it should be done to the bottom of the sea. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. Those are some toys, I think. We're seeing some fishes here. They're part of the deeper area of the ocean. And it looks like there will be thousands of. Looks like there's some orange ones, including Including the deeper ones down here. We have starfish. And there should be a giant Pacific octopus somewhere. Otherwise, it might be hiding inside one of the rocks. Oh, there it is. There's the octopus. Looks like it's been in the dark for almost like a few hours. We're seeing some type of moss crabs. We're currently around 3 of them right now. Currently sitting beside some of the rocks now. I bet they're a little bit resting. There's one snail now claiming the glass. Here comes the dangerous waves. Also known that every time during the summer that you have kids go down all the way to the sanctuary there to practice scuba diving, which is pretty cool. But however, you actually climb on those rocks, those muscles are there are very sharp, so they'll definitely scratch a leg or two. Very sharp. The aquarium for almost like a few hours, but we're about to see the sea otters for maybe the last time. But maybe one time we'll actually come back along with maybe some friends or not. The sea otters are gone, but we're seeing a few fish, including that orange one. Looks pretty cool. Looks like there's a jet of water. So seeing some of these jellyfishies. They actually glow red in the dark. But some of them looks pretty nice, even though it will be closing within 30 minutes. Some of these jellyfish are pretty cool. Hey, with the aquarium now closed, we're now heading way back to San Francisco, and we'll end this for now. But hopefully I'll finish up with the submarine, or maybe the Las Vegas trip. So if you like this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notification button to stay tuned for more videos. And I'll see y'all in the future. Bye.